Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. We're back on the PTR today, not doing a face cam, and I'm hopefully not going to be screaming too much. Actually not feeling well, which is very unfortunate right after I came back from vacation. We are going to be taking a look at the Monk today on the PTR right now. Only the new map is in the rotation for Quick Match, so we are going to be seeing that as well. I have changed my thoughts on him a little bit since that initial first impressions video. And let's see what we get for our team comp today. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa, that's a big chat box down at the bottom that I never noticed. The friendly team: Nazebo, Kael'thas, Illidan, Kharazim, and Falstad. The enemy team: Tyrael, Kael'thas, Jaina. They have the Monk as well, and a Gazlo. So they have a front line and some decent initiation. With some mages on the back line. So we are definitely going to be going for some healing today. I have a feeling that I'm going to have to spam my abilities quite a lot, and because of that, I am going to be picking up the Insight talent. Every third basic attack restores 12 mana. When I was doing my initial testing of the Monk, I did not think that that talent was going to be necessary. Right after I uploaded that video, I jumped into a match, and I picked up the healing on my auto attacks and just found that I was out of mana all of the time, and it was kind of the worst. Look at that gank. They were trying to stop the spin of friendship. That's just despicable. Kael'thas on the enemy team has received some significant changes. Blizzard was trying to make it so his power spike didn't happen so abruptly at level 16, and instead would continue to increase throughout the course of the game. I'm going to ping for some assistance here as I am by myself. Now, because we are getting mana back on our auto attacks, it does mean we have to use more mana to heal, but that's not too big of a problem. If you didn't see my theory crafting video, the Monk's Q ability is Radiant Dash. This will allow me to jump to a friendly minion or hero. I guess is it just called friendly target? It just says enemies or friends. So basically, if it has a health bar and it's not a building, I can jump to it. Essentially, that's how you should think of it. It's a good mobility ability. That sounded weird, but I was hoping it would feel like Katarina from League of Legends, because she was one of my favorite characters, and I really miss that playstyle. And it just doesn't feel like that after I've messed around with it a little bit. That being said, it is still pretty damn good. We are going in on Gazlo pretty hard here, using our... what is this ability called? Oh, we need to get out of here. Using our E ability, Deadly Reach, to increase our attack speed and our attack reach on our auto attacks. The reach is barely noticeable at best, but being able to hit twice as fast is quite good. The objective has spawned on the map, and we are trying to contest that right now. This is a scenario where I should excel as a healer. Because my friendly team is so clumped up, we should be healing them for quite a bit, and you can see we get through that altercation just fine. The enemy team actually fully zoned out there. Even though they are pretty heavy on the mages, it looks like they didn't want to get in here and get their hands dirty. We are getting ahead on the stacks. Basically, the objective of this map is to simply kill these tiny little minions that are spawning out of this shrine. Once we kill 30, we will spawn a boss that has some Diablo-esque affixes. Talking is really hard today, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just not feeling well. And it will start to push down the enemy team. Illidan's staying in there pretty deep. We'll just go ahead and wait for him, try to give him a little bit of a heal. He's going to be just fine. So this is the guy. We got an Arcane Enchanted one on the first try. These little beams actually do a ton of damage, a really deceitful amount of damage. When they first spawn, they're really hard to notice because you only see this little gem. But from the moment they spawn, from what I can tell, they are going to start to chip away at your health bar. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that our Nazebo friend was top for that entire time. I do want to mention that matchmaking may not be the best thing on the private test realm, or the public test realm, because, you know, no one really has an established MMR. I mean, you could queue up and get people who've never played the game before, or you could queue up and you could be playing with professional players. I've actually had both in the 4 or 5 games that I've played. Let's go back to the abilities. Breath of Heaven is my W ability. It's an AoE heal with an 8-second cooldown. That's a really, really long cooldown, but we can alleviate that a little bit with Echo of Heaven, which allows our Breath of Heaven to cast a second time, but on the second cast, it heals for half the normal amount. Really, really good for mana efficiency. And really good for overall AoE healing output. My initial impression, now that I've actually played the monk in a game, is that he's going to excel. I can't tell if that's a spin of friendship or not. He's going to excel on maps like this, where your entire team is going to be going to 1 point to fight for an objective. For instance, on Blackheart's Bay, he may not be as good. On Haunted Mines, he may not be as good. But every minute or so, every 2 minutes or so, however often these objectives spawn, our entire team is going to be grouping up, and then I can just heal them all with my AoE talents, like you're kind of seeing me do right now. Hopefully this guy gets away. I'm just going to move in for some body blocks. Was trying to interrupt any potential spells that Jaina would throw out there, but I was not quite able to do that, and we are going to back up, dashing to our little minion friend there. Speaking of shrines, another one is spawned up in the top lane. Unfortunately, we are not in super good position to contest that right away, so the enemy team may be getting a bit of a lead here. If we all move in as a team, it shouldn't be that bad. Looks like we're starting to gather together. Falstad just completely going in blind. That is absolutely never what you want to do on one of these objectives. Trying to get out of some of these area of effect abilities. We do okay. We can't quite Sippy Cup yet, but the friendly team is able to take down the enemy Tyrael. I'm going to let Falstad know that I'm right here for him. Unfortunately, Falstad's still continuing to run away, even though I'm a healer, probably just going back to the Sippy Cup. We do manage to take down the enemy Kael'thas. We are going to ready our dashing strike and try to jump in here on this Gazlowe and take him down and heal up our Illidan at the same time. Those moments like that where you can just jump in from nowhere and save your teammates are incredibly rewarding on this character. I've played him a few times. I've played with Hengist, trying to synergize characters with the monk. And that really is the highlight of the playstyle, just being able to be super mobile in these fights and still have effective healing. I like to think of him as having the Brightwing healing mechanic, but it's something you actively have to pursue. You aren't just going to be passively healing everyone around you, but with the right talent selection, you are going to be able to heal everyone very often and have some phenomenal sustain in the process as well. We are going to be picking up Divine Palm. That's the healing ultimate. Essentially, we place a buff on a friendly target, and if that friendly target does die, we stop him from dying and bring him back to a pretty hefty health amount. It's not full health, it's not like an ancestral heal from Rhaegar, but it is a very significant amount of healing. Looks like our team's still pretty clumped up, so I'm feeling pretty good about this. Just trying to cast my W when it's going to hit the most amount of people. And remember, we do have the healing totem to kind of help out as well if we need it. Jumping in here and simply auto-attacking this mercenary camp is going to give me mana back. As you can see, I was getting quite low in those prolonged fights, in those prolonged pushes. We do need to be careful. Falstad trying to fly out of there is going to get crowd controlled by Kael'thas, and he is going to be taken down. Illidan looking like he wanted to turn around. That's not going to be the right thing to do at all, though. Just going to cast my Deadly Reach to increase our attack speed, and then just walk in here and punch stuff, man. Doesn't matter what we're hitting. As long as we're hitting, we're going to be regenerating this mana, which means that I can heal for more. We do need to be very mindful that we are outnumbered here, though, so I'm going to be using my W not only to heal my allies for that little bit, but also to give them a movement speed increase to kind of hint that I want them to get the hell out of the area as soon as possible. Illidan and I picking up this siege. Camp is going to be pushing down the middle lane. Looks like Jaina about to be hit with a pyro. Nope, it was canceled. That's exactly my response to Pyroblast. I was on a podcast last night, and they were asking me what I thought of the Kael'thas changes increasing the range of the Pyroblast, and I was like, well, it's still going to have all of the same problems. As you can see there, I did manage to put the spell on our Illidan, but the main... Whoa, this is bad. The main problem with the ability is the fact that most players are already going to be disengaging by the time you have the Divine Palm on them. By the time you're saving their life, most characters, unless they're completely stun-locked, are just going to be leaving the altercation already. So that's pretty much why it's going to be hard to use in solo queue in a situation like this. Now, that being said, The enemy team can also counter the ultimate if they're paying enough attention. We need to disengage. If they are really adamant about stopping that ultimate from happening, they can just stop damage on the target who has the Divine Palm on them, basically allowing them to kill the target a moment later. It's something that does work. It's a little bit harder to pull off in a situation like this. I'm going to cast Divine Palm on myself and then walk back into the Phoenix. As you can see, I was put into a stasis there, and then I was able to get out of there just fine. Just going to go in here and trade on Gazlowe, take him down with the help of Kael'thas. Unfortunately, the enemy team did take over this boss. It's now rampaging our team a little bit. We are going to be picking up Quicksilver. This is going to allow our dash to give a movement speed increase as well. So, for instance, our Kael'thas friend here potentially could get out of these fights a little bit faster. I want to lay down the healing totem. There's just not really a good time to do that because of all the projectiles that this mortar-based boss is firing off. We are taking a lot of damage from the 7-sided strike. Looks like he's still continuing to pursue, diving very, very deep, though. I'm going to go... Of course, I put the healing totem down right here as Tyrael jumps in, and he already kills it. We're just going to jump back to Kael'thas, try to do a little bit of Juke City, and we are going to make it out of there just fine. Alright, we are able to grab our sippy cup, and I'm back in trying to re-engage. I thought I casted it in time, but I was a little too late trying to save our Nazebo there. So we just need to stay in here and try to keep these guys alive as long as we can. A very good gravity bomb from Kael'thas is going to secure that kill on Gazlowe, and now we're able to do some completely uncontested pushing, at least for the time being. The monk for the enemy team has arrived in the middle lane, and Jaina is out there somewhere, although we don't know where right now. Illidan a little weary, kind of makes sense. Because he does rely on that attack speed so much. But with the whole team here, usually you're more than okay to push into these forts like this. We can kill this before the enemy team really shows up and then just disengage and go get mercenaries. I totally agree with everything that my team just pinged. Totally agree. I'm going to be moving over here. However, Falstad did not get the memo, and he was taken down. His body actually thrown over here. Poor little Falstad. Oh, poor little Falstad. We are... right now, painting the map blue, however. Nazebo up top is getting that camp. We got this one here, and Illidan getting the bottom. Illidan taking a little bit of time, though, so we do need to probably come down here and help. Never mind. We have vision of the team, and they're moving up top, probably going for their camp. I'm just going to go ahead and ping that with danger. The objective has spawned, and it is located in the bottom of the map. So we're already in the area for that. Let's just try to deal a little bit of damage to these guys here. We're not in too much danger with just a Tyrael, and our Kael'thas was actually chipping away at him very nicely. Alright, going in very aggressively with our Illidan here. I will be able to keep him alive. I hope he knows that. He is still disengaging, though. We're going to put down the healing totem, and that's going to be able to sustain us just fine. Just spamming my AoE heal ability now, trying to keep that on as many people as possible, and it looks like this fight is still continuing to go on. Falstad has a living bomb on top of him. Is it... Here we go. We're going to save our Illidan with that stasis. He's now back at full health. I was waiting for that moment, and he's going to be just fine. He's going to be able to zone out the enemy Kael'thas, probably going to be able to pick up that kill, while the remainder of our friendly team is here to gather these last hits on these minions. Now, I'm not sure if these guys count as seasoned marksman stacks or not, so I don't... Also, I don't know if they count for Azmodan stacks either, so this may be a very good map for that. Don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. I got you. Beautiful. Teamwork. Illidan doesn't have to worry about mana, so as long as I heal him up, he's going to be able to stay here forever. And really, with this build, as you guys can see, I don't really have to worry about mana either. It's actually very self-sustaining. The only times I've really gone back is just for a moment. And we already have 46,000... healing done at the 13-minute mark, which is a pretty respectable amount, in my humble opinion. We're going to drop another healing totem after that Did I call Kael'thas's ability a Gravitron Bomb earlier? I don't know. I don't know, man. I'm trying my hardest. But after Gazlowe's ultimate, we did need that little extra boost from the totem. I don't think the totem is always the right pick, but it certainly does help. It certainly does help. The enemy team can kill it extremely easily, though. We're going to jump in there and secure that kill with our dash. Very good ultimate from our Falstad there. And it looks like we may be able to actually push in for a pretty decisive win here. Kael'thas, however, moving in to tank the core, probably the last person we should ever have do that. We're just going to increase our attack speed, just hit these minions, try to keep our mana up. Kael'thas still tanking the core. Gazelle actually really low on health, but of course he's going to be able to make it away. I'm going to call for the retreat here. Hopefully just walk these guys backwards a little bit. You can see Kael'thas was just a little too far out of my range there and missed out on all of my healing. That's the unfortunate reality of the situation. Illidan's doing something weird. Should we... There's the thing, so he can die. We did save his life yet again. Now Illidan looking like he wants to re-engage. Let's drop down the totem and stay with him. Fuck it, why not? Why not? A Pyroblast coming out on the enemy Kael'thas. I'm going to steal that kill, though, because I'm a terrible teammate. Now, Tyrael very low on health, but deciding to stay on the front line because of the Jaina right behind him. Tyrael using his judgment on me. Is he going to be able to take me down? No, he is not. He opts to go for our Nazebo instead. Just like that, we do wipe the entirety of the enemy team, and it's looking like this is going to be a good game. At this level range, I am going to go for Storm Shield. The enemy team has a lot of AoE capabilities, and again, because kind of the same mentality as Furion, it takes your heals so long to actually do stuff because of the long cooldown. Having a shield is a nice buffer to allow you to catch back up on healing, having an AoE shield like that. So that is my refined, after 5 games or something, healing build for the monk. I know I was a little wumbly today. I apologize. I'm just feeling really out of it today. But I do want to play this, and I do want to release this video for you guys. Don't worry, I'm not pushing myself too hard. Everyone always freaks out when I say I don't feel good. But there you go. We were 30-0. Our siege damage and hero damage pretty I don't care. The enemy monk was only able to heal for 17,000, and we were able to push out 70,000 healing. That being said, it looked like he was going for a bit more of a damaging role. Yeah, all of his abilities definitely had a damage focus, where you could see my team was staying together very nicely. Again, that's kind of the intent of the map, so I was able to heal a lot more with my AoE healing. 70,000 healing in 15 minutes is actually very good. That's very, very good. We are gonna get out of here. Who was this? The Tyrael from the enemy team said good game and that he loves me. I love you too, friend. We're gonna get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, you know, thumbs up button, subscribe, all that stuff. I want to take a look at Kerrigan, but I'm going to wait a couple days, maybe, till I'm feeling better. And we'll give that a go. Long story short, Kerrigan is incredible again. And I'm very excited about it. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.